Feelings, nothing more than feelings. Those of you who are boomers and older will remember the song by Morris Albert, a Brazilian songwriter who wrote that famous song on feelings, lamenting the heartbreak of the loss of his loved ones. When it comes to feelings, there's all kinds of opinions about it when it comes to the moral life in our Catholic faith. In today's first reading from the book of Job, he laments in sorrowful depression, capturing beautifully what it feels like going through COVID-19 for over a year now. Are not his days those of hirelings? He is a slave who longs for the shade, a hireling who waits for his wages. So I have been assigned months of misery, and troubled nights have been allotted to me. I shall not see happiness again. Feelings, depression, sadness, anger, anxiety, joy, whatever they might be. What do we do with them? Too often, I'll hear in confession, "Bless me, Father, for I've sinned. I felt angry," or "I felt anxious," or "I felt sad." Well, the fact of the matter is, feelings in themselves are not sinful. It's what we do with them. Feelings are a healthy, natural human response to experiences, just like pain. If you punch me in the arm, it should hurt. I don't like it, but it's not sinful for me to feel pain. It means my body's working properly. Same thing with feelings. If I see someone punch a child, I'm going to feel angry. But it's what I do with that anger that can be sinful or virtuous, not the feeling itself of anxiety, anger, sadness, whatever it might be, as unpleasant as those feelings might be. You're thinking, well, Father Eric, you're being a little too psychological. Stop shooing away the moral realities of our emotions and feelings. Let me quote from you from the Catechism, paragraph 1767. Quote, "In themselves, passions are neither good nor evil. They are morally qualified only to the extent that they effectively engage the reason and will. It belongs to the perfection of the moral or human good that the passions be governed by reason." Paragraph 1768 in the Catechism again. "Strong feelings are not decisive for the morality or holiness of persons. Passions are morally good when they contribute to a good action, evil in the opposite case. Emotions and feelings can be taken up into the virtues or perverted by the vices." So feelings in themselves are amoral, neither wrong or right, good or bad. They simply are. What we do with them makes all the difference. In the first reading today, Job expresses those feelings to God. He uses the emotions as a fount and wellspring for prayer, orienting and directing these like a heartfelt friend to the Lord. A beautiful example of what do we do with our feelings. There are many other healthy ways to approach our feelings and address them, but that we feel anxious is not sinful. If we feel anxious, we're not lacking in the trust of God. Look at Jesus in the Garden of the Olives when he suffered and sweat drops of blood for pure anxiety. He says, "My soul is anxious unto death." He didn't lack trust in God. It was that he was simply human, and he had feelings, and he oriented them towards God and called on his friends, Peter, James, and John, "Come and pray with me," because he felt so lonely and so anxious. Even when we feel moments of despair but don't act on them, Jesus on the cross, my God, why have you forsaken me?" He's human. He felt. He didn't pretend to feel. He didn't pretend to suffer. He really did in his humanity. And with those feelings, he directs them toward God. A great way to find ways to express all kinds of feelings, good, bad, negative, or the other, is to pray the Psalms. Find a psalm that captures the emotion you're feeling at that moment and pray it passionately with your heart. What we do with our feelings matter. That we feel is simply a fact that we're human. In the gospel today, Peter's mother-in-law lay sick with a fever. And well, you can imagine how many men feel or what men feel toward their mothers-in-law. But Peter, whatever he felt toward his mother-in-law, it says, immediately told Jesus she was sick. And he went and healed her. Congratulations, Peter. Well done. Even if you might have hated your mother-in-law, you did right. You used those feelings, you put them aside, you let reason and will govern you, you sought the Lord and got her healed. So whatever we're feeling towards one another, in our own hearts and lives, we can't condemn ourselves for those feelings. It's really what we do with them, orienting them towards the Lord in prayer, acting out in a virtuous way, and avoiding the vice, acting out in anger, hatred toward others, or hurting ourselves or others, to recognize that feelings simply are. And for the Christians steeped in the tradition of our faith and in the Psalms and Scripture, we can use those feelings as a font of prayer to direct them toward God, to lay bare our hearts before the Lord, that He might heal us and help us use these feelings and orient them with reason and will toward the good, toward virtue, toward even healing your mother-in-law. Hey, look, Morris Albert's album or song, Feelings, ended up being plagiarized. He lost the lawsuit. Turns out he didn't really write all those lyrics or the music. And so wherever he was with those feelings and however he used them, we want to use them for good, for virtue, as a font of prayer. At the end of the day, they're feelings, nothing more than feelings. But they can do so much toward our holiness or toward its opposite. The question is, what are you going to do with them? Happy Sunday, many blessings, and may your heart filled with feelings, good, bad, or indifferent, be the wellspring and source of prayer for you each and every day. For the Lord wants to hear from you and receive you, to bring healing even to those you don't like maybe Peter felt toward his mother-in-law. But I don't know.